friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another video of the Artist's Way series. Last week I posted my first video going through week 7 of the course, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. The purpose of this course is to take you through the Artist's Way journey with me as I go through it simultaneously, and I want to share with you guys all the learnings and things that I've been picking up along the way. So first off, I wanted to talk a little bit about the morning pages. I've been doing it for 8 weeks now since the beginning of January. So far, it's been such a life-changing experience for me, and I know that a lot of people say that it's hard when you first start out because it is a lot of writing and you're spending at least half an hour each morning. But I think that once you initially get over that first 3-4 weeks, it becomes so much more natural. And trust me when I say this, it's actually going to be something that you start to lean on and utilize as a tool in your creative journey. Next up is the artist date. This is something that the author really emphasizes on because a lot of us creatives, we have this tendency to just produce work and push out work instead of letting in that creativity and inspiration from the things around us and taking in all the beauty of the world, using that as our inspiration instead. And so I found that personally for me, as I grow through the course, I find myself starting to really get excited for these days where I go on these artist dates. Usually it's Saturday for me. I look forward to it all week, and I cannot wait to have this time for myself to really connect with my inner creativity and my inner artist. All that aside, I went on an artist date this week to the art gallery, which was such a fun experience. I feel like in Vancouver there are so many different little art galleries all around the city, which makes everything so much more accessible. And whenever I go visit an art gallery, I just feel myself taking in so much inspiration from other artists, whether that's in the form of photography or sculptures, ceramics, painting, etc. And then I'll just spend my time doodling, taking photos, and I always leave feeling so refreshed. So I really highly recommend that if you don't know what to do for an artist date, that you should go check out a local art gallery. Let's talk about this week's chapter. And so the title of this week's chapter is called Recovering a Sense of Strength. I feel like she hit home on so many topics, but there is one that I really want to specifically focus and talk about, and that is the idea of time. The reason why I want to spend the majority of this video talking about this topic is because I feel like it hits home for me and for so many of us as well. This idea of time and productivity, the need to use our time effectively, is so relevant in our age. And how this connects to our creativity is that most of us are used to this idea of needing to be here at a certain age, or an expectation of achieving a certain thing at a certain age. A lot of us can feel that we are either too old or too young for creativity and to do a certain thing. For example, if you had a dream of starting an art collection or learning how to paint, a lot of us might start to wonder, am I too old for that? We are hit with this feeling of running out of time, and that the older we get, the less time we have to do something and to pursue a new thing, when in reality it's really just fear getting in the way. The same thing can be said if you're thinking that you're too young for a certain thing. For example, if you're trying to put something off and saying that, oh, I'll just start my art collection when I'm 60, or I'll learn photography when I have time and that's when I retire. That's also a certain way of framing fear, and even when you don't realize it, you're actually procrastinating and putting that desire off because you're too afraid to start now. A quote that I really love goes like this: instead of allowing ourselves a creative journey, we focus on the length of the trip. As blocked creatives, we like to pretend that a year or even several years is a long time. Our ego plays this little trick to keep us from getting started. Whenever I get stuck in the mindset of not wanting to start something because I think that'll take too much time, something that I remind myself of is that in 2 months or in 2 years, when I still want to do the thing, I'll be in the same place as I am now if I don't start. And so why not just start now? For me, what this has looked like is filming and making videos here on YouTube. It's something that I actually wanted to do 3 years ago, and I never thought that I could do it. I always told myself that it's not something that I'm willing to learn and to take the time to learn, because it's just gonna take too long, and it just wasn't an effective or valuable use of my time. But looking back on it now, it was really just an excuse because I didn't want to allow myself into the process of that, and I was too scared of the outcome instead of just taking the little steps it takes to actually realize that dream. And so how do you actually take this idea into the present moment? I think that this is all about focusing on the process, which is so much easier said than done, but it's all about process. Process, process, process. It's never about the product. I find that I always get fixated on what it's supposed to look like, what it should be, and then I get hung up on not doing it perfectly or not wanting to get started. Something that I'm continuously learning is that if I'm working on a painting, there are certain things that I cannot control, and I have no idea what it's gonna end up looking like. But because I allowed myself to step into that process, I think that's a huge win already, and I feel successful just in the act of doing it. The way she puts it here is so clever. She says, I am writing a screenplay is infinitely more interesting to the soul than I have written a screenplay. I am in an acting class is infinitely more interesting than I took an acting class a few years ago. And so while we're in this loop of what we've already done in the past or what we will get to do in the future, what is it that you're doing now in the present moment that is fueling your creative desires and is fulfilling you towards your dream? Before I end this video, I wanted to send you off with a little reminder, and that is you're exactly where you're meant to be now. And if you just allow yourself to step into the process of growing and taking the small actionable steps, then you are just one step closer to living out your dream creative life. I hope that parts of this video resonated with you. Let me know in the comments below what your dreams are for the near future, as well as one actionable step that you are planning on taking this week or this month to get you closer to that dream. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye.
I'm turning